Hi, this is Carrie Cooper for Guitar Centre's Focus on Rock. Dan Fogelberg's song, Same Old Lang Syne, a piece that evokes that age-old problem in the world of romance, and so often the subject of a great song, an unexpected meeting with a love gone by. So clear are the lyrics and sweet the melody, you can almost feel that you're there in the grocery store with the pair. And some part of you can't help but wish that their brief encounter might have lasted just that little bit longer. The story of the song hails back to one snowy Christmas-time day when two people who had once been lovers collided with one another in the frozen food section of a convenience store. Once over their respective shock and mild embarrassment, they go on to have a tender and private catch-up. Those two people were Dan Fogelberg and his on-off high school sweetheart, Jill Anderson. In a typical teenage fashion, the two spent years going out and breaking up only to get back together again. Dan was an avid writer of poetry at the time, some of which he would write and share with Jill. When asked, did the encounter really happen, Fogelberg said, yes, absolutely it did. In 1975, I was at home in Peoria, Illinois, visiting my family for Christmas. I went to a convenience store to pick up some whipping cream to make some Irish coffees with, and quite unexpectedly ran into an old school girlfriend. The rest of the song tells the story. So, as the song tells us, after the meeting in the convenience store, with all the bars closed in the immediate area for the holidays, they bought a six-pack of beer and nestled in the car for a catch-up and a little walk down memory lane. We drank a toast to innocence, we drank a toast to now, we tried to reach beyond the emptiness, but neither one knew how. And perhaps one of the most intriguing parts of the song goes like this. She said she's married an architect who kept her warm and safe and dry. She would have liked to say she loved the man, but she didn't like to lie. Now, according to the Peoria Journal-Star, Anderson would refuse to touch on that line of the song ever since, saying it was probably too personal. Not that it would have any influence on her marriage, as she'd already divorced the man in question by the time the track hit the charts. In 1980, Jill was driving herself to work when a brand new record came on the radio. Initially, she thought it sounded, and could well be, Dan. It was then that the familiarity of the events began to sink in, and she realised that the song was indeed about her. She decided to keep quiet about the story, fearing it may cause some sort of trouble in Dan's marriage. Dan was a very private person and she wanted to respect that, and so for many years to come, only a very small handful of very close acquaintances knew that Jill was the subject of that hit. So why was the track such a hit? Its tender music and accessible lyrics aside, one might consider it being such a universal tale that almost everyone can relate to. When meeting a former love unexpectedly, the feelings of nostalgia and magic, excitement, what-ifs, and even regret can form a potent potion of emotions and search for meaning that sometimes might not even be there. We drank a toast to innocence, we drank a toast to now. We tried to reach beyond the emptiness, but neither one knew how. This is Carrie Cooper for Guitar Centre's Focus on Rock. You can shop for the greatest selection of music gear on earth in store or at guitarcentre.com.